Welcome back. As promised, we'll dive into some of the general costs you have to consider before you get into or move up the ladder in open road racing. Now, these are not precise costs, but more like a swag to give you some idea of whether this hobby is for you. So let's go. Starting at the entry level, we'll work our way up. Let me get this out of the way first. Read the rules for whatever event you're considering. Use them like your own checklist so you avoid surprises. I'll get into this in other episodes too. So, as a rookie, you're probably going to find race fees to be under $1,000. That breaks down as membership, your speed class entry fees, rookie school, qualifying, and practice. But, as they say on television, that's not all. What do you need first? A car. You need a car which is able to safely handle sustained speeds upwards of 120 miles per hour, proper seatbelts, good tires, no fluid leaks, and a secure battery are some of the fundamentals. Again, read the rules carefully. Don't just rely on hearsay. Hearsay isn't the rules and won't get you through tech inspection. One common gotcha is metallic valve stem caps with rubber O-rings inside. It's a safety thing. Next is your personal protective gear. You'll need, as a minimum, non-synthetic clothing such as cotton long pants, like blue jeans, and a long-sleeved shirt, socks, non-perforated leather upper shoes or boots, fire-retardant gloves, not so-called driving gloves with no fingertips, or golf gloves, shatterproof eye protection, which may be your helmet shield, and an up-to-date Snell-rated racing helmet. I've said for many years, there's nothing preventing you from exceeding the requirements. Your safety is your responsibility. Next is your car's safety equipment. You'll need to install a fully charged 2.5-pound, or equivalent, properly rated, fire extinguisher, meaning it works on fuel, oil, and electrical fires, and it must be mounted where the driver and/or navigator can reach it in an emergency. The mounting should be metal and the extinguisher should be attached with a quick-release mechanism. How about timing equipment? This can be a real rabbit hole. Just keep it simple to start with. Why not use your car's speedometer and odometer, or trip computer? Maybe use a stopwatch if you have a navigator. Maybe use a simple GPS that gives you a moving average miles per hour. Being on time is ultimately the target, but you don't need to overcomplicate things your very first time out. Also, keep in mind that if you drive the right or left lane all the way, the measured distance will not be the same. Your elapsed time is the deciding factor. Now that you have a sense of the entry level, called touring, let's discuss the GT and GS divisions. Here's a bit of good news: if you're jumping into the next divisions, you are no longer a rookie and you don't have to pay those added costs. Cool, right? As you do go into faster and more advanced divisions and speed classes, the costs do increase. You should still be at or below that $1,000 point on your race fees, and they still consist of membership, your speed class entry fees, and practice, at speed, if you choose to take part. So let's talk about that car again. You now need a car which is able to safely handle sustained speeds that can range from 140 miles per hour to about 170 miles per hour. That's a big jump and takes more than any old car. It will need proper driver restraints and superior tires rated for speed and load. Perhaps your faster car needs higher octane or better quality fuel than comes out of the local pumps. Again, read the rules carefully. You'll now need some additional personal protective gear. For some classes the non-synthetic clothing may be fine, or you may need a fire-retardant suit, depending on which division you enter. SFI-rated shoes or boots and SFI fire-retardant gloves, shatterproof eye protection, which may be your helmet shield, and an up-to-date Snell-rated racing helmet. Check the rules. A full-face helmet might be required along with an appropriate head and neck restraint, and, once more, there's nothing preventing you from exceeding the requirements. Now for additional safety equipment in and on your car. In addition to that fully charged 2.5-pound fire extinguisher, depending on the car and division, a 3-zone fire suppression system may be required and maybe a racing fuel cell. 5 or 6-point harnesses and arm restraints are required too. Timing equipment? As mentioned before, keep it simple. If you want to pour a bunch of money into a sophisticated rally computer, go nuts, but don't lose focus on the fun of high-speed driving. Know ahead of time that those things can malfunction just like anything else. Now we've touched on Touring, GT, and GS divisions. Next up is Supersport and then Unlimited. Here's where fees and equipment costs jump noticeably. Your race fees and membership will be at, or likely a little above $1,000. You might also choose to run in speed practice, which adds a couple $100. Now, about that car. This is simply not your ordinary sports car by the time you reach Supersport or Unlimited, and that probably means it's going to now include a tow vehicle and trailer if you haven't already taken that leap. You're also probably going to be running, which means hauling, sufficient race fuel. This machine must safely handle sustained speeds in supersport that may reach 180 miles per hour. And what do you suppose unlimited means? Just that, unlimited. Cars in this class are regularly approaching and exceeding 200 miles per hour. As of the time of this episode, the highest trap speed, a world record, is above 240 miles per hour. That's a huge number and takes a dialed-in machine and driver. Even more personal protective gear comes into play. You will need a multi-layer fire retardant suit, SFI-rated shoes or boots and SFI fire retardant gloves, along with an up-to-date Snell-rated racing helmet. Now onto your car. In addition to that fully charged 2.5-pound fire extinguisher, a 3-zone fire suppression system is likely to be mandatory. An appropriate racing fuel cell and complete roll cage is also a common requirement, and all of the organizing bodies I've raced with require them to be welded. It's not uncommon to find that window nets and/or interior arm nets are required. New materials in vehicle construction are helping this rule evolve a bit, so read the rules. Pay attention to any rules about windows and window materials, and roof composition too. This can get a little tricky. You also now have a shelf life on items like tires, harnesses and such. Read the rules. Now, how about that lovely timing equipment? Unless you're pushing yourself to a number, let the race timing and scoring crew worry about that. Keep your mind on the road and your foot on the gas. Remember, the fastest car and driver from start to finish wins. Period. I'll close with this. These fees we've discussed are just to enter and compete in a race. You owe it to yourself to budget for the time off work, the expenses of travel, hotels, and meals. A single race can easily cost upwards of $2,000, and that doesn't include the upfront cost of the race car, tow rig, consumable items, or damage and repairs that are almost inevitable. If you ask me if it's worth it, yeah, I'd say it is. Come back for the next episode where I'm going to talk about some of my own mistakes and lessons learned. I hope you find this series helpful.